Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to the DBZALLSTAR. Welcome back to another video featuring Floating Island Productions. As you've seen in previous videos, this is the Ken Penders Knuckles Omnibus Volume 1. This is the variant cover edition, currently sold out on his website, kenpenders.com, within his merch store. However, it is still available. I will show off the standard cover shortly. In this video, I wanted to showcase a little bit more of this omnibus. I have done a little bit of a comparison in a previous video, but now I want to talk about a little bit more surrounding the plot details within this book. So, for those of you out there who may not know, the Sonic the Hedgehog ongoing series spun out of a 4-issue Sonic the Hedgehog miniseries from Archie Comics. That ran from issues 0 through 3, with the ongoing series relaunching with a brand new number 1. Ken Penders joined the writing aspect of Sonic the Hedgehog the comic with issue number 11. Our guardian of the floating island, Knuckles, joined the comic mythos in lucky number issue 13. And that is the first issue collected here in this omnibus. Just as a reminder, this omnibus collects issue 13 of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic and Knuckles Special Number 1, Sonic Triple Trouble Special Issue 1, Knuckles Chaotix Special 1, Sonic the Hedgehog, the ongoing series, issues 30 through 36, which have backup stories for the Knuckles mini-series that spun out of it. So from there, we move into Super Sonic vs. Hyper Knuckles Special Number 1, the mini-series, Sonic's Friendly Nemesis Knuckles 1 through 3, Sonic the Hedgehog issue 44, Knuckles the Dark Legion 1 through 3, which is actually Knuckles the Echidna, the ongoing series 1 through 3, Knuckles the Echidna issues 4 through 6, which is the second full story arc, and Sonic the Hedgehog issue 53. This book retails for $100 and in my mind is worth every penny. Before I move into discussing a little bit more as to what's in this book, I wanted to state that there is a reason behind the price point. Unlike corporate entities such as Marvel and DC, who have paid royalties or may not have paid royalties to the creators whose works are reprinted in collected edition form, Archie Comics may not have practiced that same principle with their collected editions or with any of their reprints. So the intent with this price point is not only to, as an independently created publisher and enterprise, to utilize those funds to pay for the production and printing of these books, but to ensure that the royalties go to those who invested their body, mind, soul, and creativity into the works represented and reprinted in these books. Whether it be this, the Lara-Su Chronicles, the beginning, the upcoming Scott Shaw Sonic Days hardcover, or more. We want to make sure that the creators who have produced things that we have come to love and cherish are treated with the respect, dignity, and the value they deserve. So Ken, Mr. Penders, is ensuring that that is a practice that is being followed by utilizing the price point and the sales to enrich that very principle, to ensure that these creators receive what I feel they should have received prior to these books being released. But that's a whole different story that you can read about. I will connect to that article in my description below this video, as well as link to Mr. Penders' social media on Bluesky, on Twitter, we used to call it X, and the blog that he has put together so kindly on his website. Now, I will showcase the volume that is available currently and talk a little bit more about the content in this book. Alright, so first time using a new tool for my videos here. We have an extendable arm that attaches to the desk that you see me sitting behind, and I'm utilizing it to improve the overhead shots. The picture you see on my tablet is the standard edition cover for the Ken Penders Knuckles Omnibus #1, featuring his well-known to video game and television viewers of the Sonic mythology. We see the hat. We see what should be Knuckles staring down at the Knuckles Omnibus Volume 1. This is still currently available, and again is the standard edition as opposed to the variant edition that is sold out. Both were $100. This is still, for now, available. If you want to get the Knuckles Omnibus, this is not like Marvel or DC. This is what Ken has available. There will not be a reprint unless all of these copies sell out and there is enough demand to justify a reproduction/reprint. I will put the link to this in the description below the video. You can access other areas of his merch shop from that link as well. So with that being said, let's move over to the Knuckles Omnibus to look a little bit more inside. Alright, and I apologize in advance for the shadow. This is being filmed at night. Let me see if we can get this puppy a little bit higher and a little bit further out. Future videos will have improved usage of this device. But there we have it, the Ken Penders Knuckles Omnibus. We have the end sheets, and yes, I have shown some of this off already. So I'm going to speed through it. Even though that's Sonic's thing, we have the title page. We have a list of the creators involved. We have the table of contents with the wonderful Julie Sue. We have more table of contents with, who is that? And Leon Da, who plays a role in the Dark Legion storyline. We have everyone's favorite crocodile, who loves Rat Vector. We have a foreword featuring Princess Sally Acorn in the background. Then we move to an In the Beginning segment, which details Knuckles' creation, as well as the creation of this mythology. We have the cover to Sonic the Hedgehog issue 13. And look, in this issue, Knuckles from Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And for the most part, we have a brief retelling of some of the major events of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Then we have Knuckles fully debuting there. This omnibus, by the way, as I mentioned in the previous video, but have yet to do so here, has restored artwork. It is not just a recoloring, it is a restoration that showcases the art as originally intended. As there are some areas and some stories in which, just as an example here, I did a comparison with Sonic Select, which reprinted the specials, where for something like this, there was no shadow whatsoever over the Dendians on the beach. They were in full color, which is Not a bad thing, but if you had a continent flying over your head, then yeah, there should be shadow. And we're not stopping too long on any particular pictures. We have one of Knuckles' early adventures, Fire Drill, where he's being tested to see if he is worthy, as we find out later, of the guardianship of the floating island. And this sets up stories in the backups of Sonic issues 30 through 36, as well as starts the build toward his first miniseries, which in turn leads into his first miniseries. This is a great place to look for a moment, because this is the Knuckles Chaotic Special. We have hit the 30th anniversary of the release of this game, as well as the release of this comic. Makes me feel old, but these stories still hold up. Not only do you have action, but you have a lot of emotion. You see elements incorporated from the video games. You see Mr. Penders, his partners in crime, Mike, Scott, even Mark Millar contribute to stories, also known as Mark Miller, just like calling him Millar, gentleman who wrote The Authority and The Ultimates, but we're focusing on Sonic and Ken here. We begin to, in a sense of history, see a little bit of Knuckles' path. We're introduced to his father, who you soon find out is Locke. And these are the backup stories I mentioned that were published. You get to know a little bit more about the Echidna Society and why the floating island became a necessity, as well as learn about some of the enemies that the Echidnas fought over the years. I don't want to give away the whole house, but I did want to do another little presentation about this book, because I don't want people to miss out on it. You have stories, as I mentioned, that adapt games such as Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic Triple Trouble, but you have world building where you get to know more details about not only Knuckles' history, but the history of the Echidna, and how he comes from a long line of guardians. Ken built an entire lore around Knuckles and added to the lore and mythology in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog for Archie Comics. It was unlike any other Sonic the Hedgehog adaptation coming out around that time, with the exception of Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Sonic Saturday AM or Sat AM, which featured the Freedom Fighter characters that were featured in the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series. So that's all I'll really show you from this omnibus. Kind of wanted to sweeten the idea of more people giving this book love, despite the price point being kind of a scary concept, and despite there being some apprehension surrounding any of the restoration / recoloring. So we're going to return to the table now. Welcome back. So at the end of the day, whether you're interested in something like the Sonic Select books, which have the original coloring and the original effects and shadowing, that's perfectly fine. Some of these are available within Ken Penders' merch store as well on his website. Reading the Knuckles Omnibus, which is still available in its non-variant edition, or eventually possibly reading on a tablet such as this, and I will put a link to where I purchased this on Amazon as well, as this is a recent addition to my collection and makes it so much easier to read comics in full than reading on my Samsung Galaxy. Just enjoy comics the way you'd like to enjoy them. For me, these stories hold a lot of value and weight for me. Sonic the Hedgehog issue 0 was my entry into the world of comics. And that was all I collected, Sonic the Hedgehog and its spin-offs, until the summer of 1995, when I purchased my first Spider-Man comic, which was also my first Marvel comic, right in the middle of the infamous Clone Saga. I still stuck with Sonic until the 250s for issues, when the reboot, or soft reboot, occurred due to the trouble Archie was stirring up with Mr. Penders and eventually other creators. At the end of the day, if you want to support the creators who brought you a lot of joy, this is one of the best ways to do it, because you have the assurance that the money is going toward the production of these books, as it does when you buy a book from a creator from Image or any of the other independent publishers, as well as that money going to pay the royalties to showcase the value to these creators. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this content and you want to see more, please feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications of future content. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Bluesky as either #1Animaniac or Animaniac1. And if you haven't joined as of yet, I'm the Affirmation Administrator for the Omnibuds Cafè. We are a community built upon communication, collaboration, without condemnation. And if you're looking for collected editions, it's a great place to do it. Also, feel free to support other creators such as Near Mint Condition, run by the always stellar and uncanny Omar, Bunkmaster B, Joshua Greathouse, creator of Bang, Ballad of the Tiger, Jake from The Brave and the Boys. I could go on. Also support Cresting Crisis if you want in-depth reading orders and to share their enthusiasm. We also have the flash reading orders for the Omnibuds Cafè YouTube channel, presented by #1 Flash fan in that group, Brian. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my endeavor to show love and value and support to Ken Penders and Floating Island Productions. Stay healthy, stay safe, keep them knuckles sharp, and be well.